So this is really a unique time, I think, in history. A very unique time. I think we're in the starting phases of giving everybody in the world a superhuman, and the AI will basically become an assistant to the human teacher. If the benefits are very high, I think the humanity will go into this direction.
It's interesting why it is funny, isn't it?
We are uncomfortable. If you would trust yourself completely, you would try it.
No. This is what I tell my wife, and she says always, be careful what you say because of.
I think she's correct.
I know, but I disagree.
It's a personal mission for me also to basically not allow anybody in the world, any child, to feel stupid or not enough.
My brother is a chemist, and when I speak in architecture as natural materials, he laughs at me and says, "What do you mean? Come on, guy. Come on. Plastic. Tell me how plastic is not natural." But this is just plastic. I had revelation, Oh, but this is stealing, isn't it? And her response was, "But it is just a few."
And he will be like, "Yes, of course. This is my gift to you. I'm the noble person." And you give the gift to him. You give the gift to yourself. Those are huge opportunities. Lahko začneš zdaj. Dobro, da ni kakšen druga.
Hello, Klemen.
Thank you for the invitation.
Welcome. Actually, we started to speak in Slovene, but we switched to English, which is nice.
Yeah.
As you know,
I didn't expect that.
it's a surprise. Maybe the other surprises will come. Anyhow, as you know, I will start with 10 questions, as I do always. So these are rapid fire questions. So whatever pops into your mind, I will start with the first one. So, Klemen, what is your favorite place?
The favorite place, I would say physically, is probably somewhere in Greece, on an island. Probably Crete, but I really try to live in a way that the favorite place is the place I'm currently at, which is not true sometimes. Sometimes you're in a place mentally or physically that you don't enjoy, if you're honest with yourself. Yeah.
What place makes you uncomfortable?
Maybe chaotic places that I don't have control in. So one of my biggest problems in life is my desire for control. I feel safe when I'm in control, but I think it's the biggest illusion that you are ever in control of anything. So that's why I'm uncomfortable a lot of times.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Creatively, I think creativity is one of the most important things in a person's life. I don't know, when people that I'm creative with, and when my passion or my purpose align with my skills altogether, that's when I'm at my peak performance or peak happiness or peak flow state in those situations.
What turns you off?
Maybe people that don't have the passion for life in them. Because sometimes you are stuck with them to do a certain task, or you need to cooperate, and those situations are hard for me, but I can understand that maybe this is just a small slice of them that I see in that moment. But that's it turns me off.
What sound or noise do you love?
The sound of techno music or progressive house. This is one of my hobbies and passions. And yeah.
What sound or noise do you hate?
I don't know. I wouldn't say. I have a quite good relationship with my auditor sensory feelings, because sometimes people are annoyed of the construction sites or buzzing. I don't remember to have that in my life. I have different kind of
different.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What superpower would you like to have?
Probably to fly. I can remember when I was quite younger, I had this lucid dreams. I was in complete control of everything that was happening in those states or those dreams. And I remember quite often that I flew in those dreams. Nice. Or I was jumping very, very high and slowly coming down. So I think something with that tangled with my sense or my longing for freedom.
What do you fear losing the most?
My mind.
Control.
Yeah. My mind, definitely.
Okay. Klemen, what is beauty to you?
I think it should be something in terms of order, how I perceive order. Like chaos is most of the time not pleasant to us. Or maybe this is my control again speaking. But when something is orderly, or if I change one bit in it, it would be less perfect. I think that's its beauty. That's more in terms of design, you know.
Yeah.
When you cannot change anything, then the job is done.
I can completely relate to that.
Yeah.
So, Clement, the last but not least, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Probably to say something that happens usually at the end of like very intense movies, you know, when everything is in a certain way and then it flips upside down. Probably something like it was always heaven. You just didn't see it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. So these are the 10 questions.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so you made it through. We made it through.
In English, yeah.
Yeah, in English. No, you are quite. It's okay. These are actually some of the few caught my attention, but I will not go there yet, because maybe I was, you know, how I conduct these interviews or dialogues, let's say, is more or less spontaneous. So when I was thinking of you, one broad topic came to my mind, and it was about the youth, education, technology. But then yesterday I saw the subtitle of your book again, and it was future of humanity, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe actually, where is it? Yeah, it's about technology also and the future of humanity.
Yes.
And I said, let's start with this. Let's have a discussion about future. Okay, and then we will go maybe frame it a bit. But I just want to throw this at you. So the future. When you think about the future, what thoughts come to your mind? What would you like to see, or how would you like to make the future, you know?
Yeah. I think people go into two buckets. One bucket is optimistic, one bucket is pessimistic, and I rarely see in one person both, like a nuanced view. I would like to believe that is my view, but more on the optimistic side, because I think that's a better way to live. And it's necessarily not the truth, but it's a better way to see the world, you know, through the optimistic lens. I see the world positively currently, with some problems, and I think this is not going to change in the future.
Uh-huh.
But I think the trajectory that we are on is quite positive, because we are allowing more and more potential to be to shine, to be exhausted, much more than before in the past. Like, I was born in the previous century, and internet technology gave me everything that I have in my life. And there were some pioneers who envisioned the future of connectivity, that the whole humanity is connected. And it was a vision that has, of course, some drawbacks. The social media, the anxiety, the depression. I think that's also what's coming from the same source, But elevating the potential of human beings, I think this is what those kind of technologies do. And the next big technology is going to be AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to put everything on steroids, good and bad. But because I believe there's more good, the outcome is going to be positive.
It's already here, I think, artificial intelligence, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the majority of our lifetimes, artificial intelligence or machine learning was less smart than the average person, if we measure it by IQ and some tests. And now we have a short period where it's average or above average. And this is going to be the case for a year maybe, and then it's going to go beyond that. So this is really a unique time, I think, in history. A very unique time.
What do you think is going to happen, actually? Because I feel the same, that we are on the precipice of something really big.
Yeah.
And maybe you are much more involved in that as I am, because your company also, you do actually concretely. What will happen in the next few years, let's say?
Yeah, the right answer is nobody knows. Because when you... just yesterday I was reading interview by Steve Jobs in 1985 or 6 in Playboy. It's a long format interview, and it was just after they released the first Macintosh. And
what intrigued you? What caught your attention?
Yeah, the vision that he had, like the journalist was not on board or couldn't envision that everybody in the world will have a personal computer at home, and what kind of potential this will unlock in society. And he had a vision, but when the journalist asked him, so what will, the same question that you asked me, what will the future look like concretely? He says, it's impossible to know, because this is a tool that you give to creative people, and creative people go with it into unknown territory. And the same is going to happen with artificial intelligence. It's impossible to know.
Yeah. It's funny, because I remember another interview with Bill Gates. I think he was on Letterman or something, and he was explaining internet to him, which is really funny to hear now, because he was like, what are you talking about? But actually,
they're making jokes.
Actually, it was all about connectivity, and connection, about how people are gonna work all over the place and be connected all over the place. And actually, this is now reality. So
can I give you an analogy?
Yeah, just do.
Like, because before, previous revolutions are very interesting to look at, because we can like mimic what happened then and how people thought about it. The telegraph. Telegraph was the first stepping stone in terms of the connectivity that we are talking about with the internet. But UX, like user experience, was terrible. You needed to learn how to send messages. You needed to learn how to decode messages. But in that place and time, to somebody envision an Uber service, because it goes from this is just the first stepping stone to me opening up an app, using the GPS, using the 5G, connecting with some driver that has the same device, and he picks me up and I can go to a meeting.
It's too much of a leap. You're trying
it's too much of a leap.
Yeah.
So from Telegraph, envision Uber, it would be impossible.
Yeah. No, actually, another analogy. I remember Richard Feynman was explaining to one interviewer the question why. Why? He asked him why the magnets repel each other.
Yeah.
And he said, what are you actually trying to question here? They do because they just do. And he was a physicist. He would need to tell you a lot of details how electrons and to the vibrations, how they work, that you wouldn't have a frame to understand it. That was his point. So he ended on this note actually that you did now. But for me, it's actually it's nice to think about, because then maybe these visions can unravel, which are unknown to us and is at that moment.
And they are building, those are just building blocks of one creative person to another creative person, You cannot do this leap by yourself. You need a team in a certain time, then you die, and another team comes and builds upon those building blocks. And this is how...
Yeah, but you can push in a certain direction, isn't it? You can steer so this was my actually, what I want to tackle. Where should we steer this, this technology now?
Well, it's connected to education. I think there are a ton of research papers throughout the history on what kind of learning and teaching is the best. And the best way, by far, is one-on-one tutoring. By far. And I think the science is clear here, it's quite strong, the evidence. And if we look at the history of teaching, only elites and kings or aristocrats had an option to hire a personal tutor for their child. And there's a famous story, about Alexander the Great. His tutor was Aristotle, and what kind of trajectory you're in if you have that kind of tutoring available. So then the Industrial Revolution came, and just on terms of cost basis, it's impossible to give a personal tutor to everybody. You need to systemize the process. You need to make it like a factory. There's one teacher, there's one board, there's a group of students. They all listen to the same explanation at the same pace, at the same time, at the same in the same way. But we are all different. We need different pace. We need different type of listening to, or being in touch with the subjects, right? So I think we're in the starting phases of giving everybody in the world a superhuman personal tutor that's gonna be even better than Aristotle, with AI, of course. And this is what we are trying to tackle with the company, with the startup that I'm involved in. We started with math tutoring because math is one of the most problematic subjects for students, and it was for me also. So back in the day, I needed tutoring quite badly for math, and we didn't have the financial resources to allow that. And I was failing quite miserably in primary and secondary school. And my confidence basically went down because of it. I started to believe that I'm not as smart as my peers. So it's a personal mission for me also to basically not allow anybody in the world, any child, to feel stupid or not enough, because we're going to have much more resources to give him through AI.
What do you see with the company Astra AI? Means the company. What do you see it's happening actually?
So basically, we are, for a fraction of the cost, we are giving everybody a personal tutor for math, physics, and chemistry. And it's going quite well. But the UX, as I said, we are in the Telegraph phases. The UX, the user experience, is not great because it's a chat-based interaction.
So input output is slow. This is the point you're trying
It's written. So it's it's chat that's written. It's like you would have a personal tutor, but on WhatsApp. You can imagine. So it's not perfect, but it's still something, you know. You can send him a picture of assignment. You don't know what is the first step, and he helps you through text. And what I envision is...
that was my question, and now I wanted to poke you again.
So I envision Uber, but now we're in the Telegraph phases. And what Uber would look like is basically you would have a device, a screen or a surface that is an infinite board or an infinite canvas, you can imagine. And on that canvas, there's not only a written input or output, but it can be a video, it can be any type of visual media that is created on demand, completely from scratch for you. And on the side, there's a personal tutor who is actually speaking in real time. And you are talking to him like we are talking, completely in real time, and you cannot, and it passes the Turing test every time. You cannot know that he is not a human being. So that would be the final stage, I would say.
So this would be a real person, or no?
That would be an AI.
That would be an AI. So you wouldn't sense a difference?
No.
The boundary would blend?
No.
And it's, okay.
So, he would know you completely in terms of how do you like to study, what topics are you interested in, what is your level on any subject, and he would just prepare.
I get it, but I will maybe set up a different frame here, because where I come from is from different size, from, let's say, size, maybe it's size is a good term also, because now we spoke mainly, let's say, about soft things, software, let's say, okay. But where I come from is from hardware, okay, mostly. So my mother was a teacher, music teacher. My mother-in-law was a math teacher also. My father-in-law was a physics teacher. My wife is a psychologist and a teacher. And I have actually also taught a bit in the past, not as a teacher, but through lectures and so on the faculty and a bit. But so with that being said, this I regard as a human resources. Okay, human is a more hardware than just software. Okay, so human resources, one thing, and then the other, the physical. Me as an architect, I also worked on the kinder designing the schools and kinder. So let's join this now three. Let's say we have three: software, human resources as a bit more of a hardware, and then the hardware, so the physical environment. How this will look like in the future, So the first question from the top of my head would be, what will humans do? So what would be
like
the
that.
relationship of a teacher? What does the future of a teacher look like?
Yeah, I think we are thinking a lot about that, and the question that is posed quite often by the media to us is, so will this replace teachers?
Yeah.
And we strongly believe that the answer is no. Just the role will shift into areas where more added value could be added by them. So more like a facilitator of the learning process, more like a tutor, like a mentor, that supports the child through his process. But the actual lectures, the actual transmission of information, I think that could be done better with AI in a personalized way at the pace that you are most comfortable with as a child. And the AI will basically become an assistant to the human teacher. And I think the teachers will elevate in a role that's going to be much more important and a role with more added value, I think. Because the human emotional touch is something that we also need as humans.
Yeah. I actually remember just yesterday, my wife came from the school. As I said, she's a psychologist, and she teaches the kids with the special program needs, let's say, okay? And there was one kid that they had to send him on a different school because he really had coincidentally problems with the math. He is autist, he has autism, and it's hard for them already. So they had to send him on another school. And I was just yesterday with my wife talking in the evening, what would be the perfect environment for that kid, because apparently this system that is rigid, as you spoke, with one teacher, 30 students, it's too harsh for him. And even, to be frankly, it would be not for me. I see, I did quite well in the primary school because I had great teachers. And back then curriculum was, just a side note, I compared how many grades the teachers or the system now puts on the student in comparison to when we were in school. And it is like times 2 or 3. Okay. So every third or second day, they get graded. You know how pressure, what the pressure this puts on a student. So my question was, tell me, you are a professional, you're a psychologist, try to tell me what would be for that kid and for a lot of others the great scenario, and we came to something similar, that it would be more personalized. So he would have like a personal tutor, and the input for, let's say, the curriculum would be very personalized. So it is kind of in the same manner that we are now speaking. And if we can imagine that this would happen for everybody, then I would love to go back to the past and be taught again. So this was quite interesting to discover for me. But then I thought, what kind of facilities, we will need, and how tutors will actually, how you as a psychologist, I told her, what will change, in your scope of work. And we also didn't have an answer, because it's a specific answer, because it's so hard to envision. But from my side, I can tell that for sure the architectural will have to change strongly. And I see this already happening. Actually, during my studies, we went 10, 15 years ago, we went in the Netherlands and Denmark and so on. And there I already saw the schools that are not like boxes, closed, everybody looking at. It was already, these boundaries were already, dissolving, started to dissolve. And yeah, I'm trying to discover for myself also what the future would look like, to blend these two together. So the input as an AI, as a software, and the hardware of teachers and buildings.
Yeah, I think we can separate the teaching process into two areas. One is basically socializing and learning how to socialize as a human being. And that is what happens in kindergarten and in school. It's not just for passing the information down your throat.
Much more in the primary school, actually. It's not so much about the passing the knowledge, but nowadays, especially because of the psychology problems and so on, it's much more about relations. And
and I think the AI will not be able to do the socializing aspect as good as other human beings. And I envision school as a place that it's much more like a simulation of the real world, which basically means, okay, for example, this discussion that we are having, this is your project. You needed to know some technical aspects, and we are cooperating with on your project. And I envision school as a simulation for projects that you do with other people. You need to learn how to do that.
Like in real life.
Like in real life, that's what school should be, I think. And alone, you can get the information and knowledge with your personal AI tutor, which you have a relationship with. And he gives you some individual challenges that you do, and you learn stuff. But then you come to a building where other children are, and the teacher, human teacher or AI assistant, gives a challenge to a group. So this is your challenge. You need to, who is going to be the leader? Okay, you. Who is going to be the most responsible? Who is going to have this task, this task, this task? And you join everything together and you create something. And I think this is much more in line with how we live naturally. And we don't live the majority of the time to sit down in a,
in a row.
maybe in church, because you have a facilitator and everybody's just repeating some stuff. But the majority of our lives are not looking like that. So I think this is an opportunity to transform the school in a way that it's much more in line with real life, like a simulation. And socializing is, I think, even more important than information. Because you need to be, you need to be like a healthy part of society. And that means you need to get along with other people because you have common goals. And to achieve common goals, you need to know how to do to have the soft skills,
We are seeing kindergarten passing by. It's so nice. This is the reason why I'm doing this in this manner. I don't like closed studios. It's much more.
Life is happening outside. Huh? When you're philosophizing, life is happening.
Yeah, we should be more outside, actually. No, but
time and place for everything.
To follow that, how I envision. You said like screens and so on. I envision it much more integrated. No screens. Actually, let me give you maybe an analogy with an architecture. How we built houses in the past. It was, let's say, rudimentary, primary, very primary. And to the same example you did before about the, let's say, telegraph. If a person living 200 years ago would come into our houses now, he would be like, whoa, what is this? It's like a castle, or not even a castle,
a fortress.
Yeah. And my point is that we already integrate a lot of technologies, new technologies, into the very fabric of a house, And as I can imagine, the future of learning also, not just learning, but interacting with the environment, would be on the same grade, but much more, much higher. And elevated, let's say. But how this would look, I can imagine that the technology will integrate into the fabric of the physical stuff. Let's say, okay, as we have already now, for example, in the screens on the glass, we have also in the windows. We have smart windows, smart glasses. They can, adjust accordingly to the level of the luminosity and so on. And this is just about one material, If you apply this to everything, how this would look, we can just start, imagining how this would look like in, like, let's say 10, 20 or 100 years from now. I imagine that the stuff will just arise from the air, it will just pop up, like, I don't know, holographically, or I don't know how, but with no screens. Like, you go somewhere to have a screen. You will not go anywhere. You will have a screen everywhere, at the tip of your finger, I presume.
Probably your intuition is right. It could happen that we stop this trajectory because the screens everywhere and inputs everywhere cause us to be so anxious, and we stop and we go into a different way. But if we don't go in a different way, I think your intuition is correct. And when I said, I said like more surfaces, not specific screens. I don't know the form factor. It probably could be glasses that can show you a screen anywhere you like on any surface. I think just for my point, it was not as important. We just need to show you the canvas somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not important if it's on a mobile screen, on TV, or AR glasses. It doesn't matter.
So this is the interesting thing, because we come from different places. You and me. I think much more about the physical stuff. Let's say this is what I mentioned. Mentioned the hardware of a life.
It could be a chip directly into your visual.
This is the fears that people have, and always tell, what will happen? We will be like robots, like cyborgs.
But if the benefits are very high, I think that humanity will go into this direction.
Like electricity and cars, if the benefits are you can travel much faster and have
people will go into that direction.
It's interesting.
Unfortunately,
it's interesting why it is funny, isn't it?
We are uncomfortable.
Because
we don't trust ourselves. I think every one of us knows that we have an ego that wants extreme stuff for himself.
Maybe not everybody is aware of it, but
but
I know what you mean,
think subconsciously we know that is the case. And when we talk about like very difficult and invasive procedures into the nature of us or into nature in general, we have an unease because we don't trust ourselves or our egos. Like the majority of people wouldn't try heroin because they don't trust themselves to have the strength to not go into this direction.
This is what I tell my wife, psychologist.
If you would trust yourself completely, you would try it.
No. This is what I tell my wife always. I said, it's no point me trying the heroin because I know it wouldn't make me addictive. And she says always, be careful what you say because of that.
I think she's correct.
I know, but I disagree. I disagree because, this is now the point. You can say, I know myself to that point, but
you don't know you're talking about different version of yourself.
I know, but you always make references from the other stuff from the other experience, let's say. So if you see a burning fire, approximation. So if you see a burning fire because you burned yourself on the stove yesterday, you know you're not going to jump into it, or you know what will happen to you. No, you know.
No is a strong word.
Yeah. But let's say like this: I don't know, but I sense.
Okay.
It wouldn't, affect me to the point that I would become addictive. I tried a bit. I don't know why we are going in that road now.
You have experiences with substances, and
a bit, but no, my body doesn't, actually react. Actually, everything flows quite easily through my body. Mm-hmm. So also the drugs. Usually, what happens is I get sick. You know. Okay. So what people tell me. And what I know from experience happens with marijuana and so on is that there are different experiences, and a lot of people get relaxed and in different states, but most of the time I got sick actually because my body rejects all of the stuff that it's not natural. So this is the
but uncomfortableness of in doing unnatural stuff. This, I think, psychologically is very interesting because we are part of nature, and by that logic, everything that we do is natural.
Yeah. we are going into philosophy, which we can. My brother is a chemist, you know, and when I speak in architecture as natural materials, he laughs at me and says, "What do you mean? Come on, guy! Come on! Plastic. Tell me how plastic is not natural." But this is just plastic, you know. And then we laugh, and then we get into this debate: what is natural and not natural. But I sense your point.
But you understand, from a bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like if aliens would be looking at us, they would see, okay, a tree is growing and leaves are coming to get the sunlight. This is one phenomena. Okay, here we have some humans and they're doing the spaceship, and the spaceship is going to meteors and gathering resources. Like the plant is gathering resources. And we are gathering resources. I think from this perspective, it's very clear.
I completely get your point. That's the reason why this, let's say, we tend to get into semantics, which I don't like because we can, but let's not go there. Let's stay on that maybe more grounded plane.
No, we were talking about screens and inputting chips into us and why that feels very uncomfortable to us. And I think that's also natural that it's uncomfortable for us because we need to be careful. We can destroy ourselves like easily.
Yeah. I think we are not gonna go there to have implants per se because it's gonna be, as I sense, much more, much softer. That was the reason why I said I don't see screens in the future. Also, not why with glass, you know? Okay, it's one material, but I think molecules will just rearrange. I don't know what molecules, but actually, it's quite funny that we still let's say like this. When I do the work, let's say architecture, in the past we draw, on the paper. And then we shifted to the screens, Now we have much more fluent screens, and you can do much more and also render and do simulations and so on. But what I tend to like to do much more is to tackle with materials, So a lot of architects don't like to meddle with models nowadays because the software is so nice to have and produces so realistic renders that it's obsolete. But it's actually the same topic, the teachers and the curriculum. You need hard stuff and you live in hard stuff. You are human. You sense the materials, you don't just live in your mind. I know, you do, but you see my point where I'm going, that I like to do with the physical stuff much more these days. And I have on disposal such a nice tools that I didn't have in the past. So I imagine that in the future, I would like that these two blend much more, that the material and the software, blend together, and I will be able not to look at the screen all day to do some physical thing, but I will just do it, I will just produce it.
Maybe like one area that's also on a steep curve of progress is robotics. I don't know that much about it, and I'm not that interested. My colleague, my co-founder of the of Astro AI, he's much more excited about the physical stuff.
Me too, because we use it to produce buildings.
And he's saying okay, everybody will have a humanoid robot at home, and the actual tutoring would look like human to human tutoring, like somebody sitting with you and writing on
I know what you mean. I don't like this vision, but in a way we have them already. They are just not packed into the human shape, but we have like robots.
That's why it's called humanoid. So
yeah.
It's mimicking the human, and I think this is inevitable because it's general purpose. You can put him into a warehouse and he can ride, he can put the boxes, he can drive a forklift, and I think the form factor of humans for sure is coming.
No, I mean, it's already to some degree here, not maybe humanoid in that sense, but we see the robots doing the stuff, and we actually like to go there.
Do you have a vacuum cleaner?
No, we don't have it.
You don't have the robot?
No, not yet. No, I mean, these are the robots that you also can buy, but no, we don't. We don't use that in a. Maybe to give a bit of a background, I work on a different fields and different projects. Also, I visit factory. We are doing buildings and so on, building houses. And what we do is actually use robots. In the past, we needed to cut the tree and get the lumber and manually plane it and so on. Now, what I do is I do 3D model. I just send it to another person. Also, this will shift in the future, I see. I would not send it to another person. I would just directly send it to the machine. And he then just puts it on a CNC, let's say, cutting machine. And then just the wood just comes out as a Lego blocks. And then we just, stack it together. We use human labor to do this still. The fine works, how we stack them together. But also in the future, this will be for sure substituted with another robots or with another line of. And this is, for me, is quite an exciting time to live in, as for you also is, isn't it?
Yes.
How do you imagine, what will you do in 50 years from now?
50 years. 50 years is not quite a lot, but it's still hard to predict how the world will look like. One thing that comes to my mind is till now we had relationships with matter that is not living, like rocks and other objects. We had a relationship with plants and plant life, and we had relationship with animal life. And us, we like to assume that we are another category, like humans, from our perspective. And I think, and this was true from the very beginning, but now we are going into an age where we will have relationship with another type of thing in the universe, which is not alive, but not as a rock, and I think this is gonna, it's not gonna be a smooth transition, but we will ease into it slowly, you know, that this is gonna be the case. This is what I'm speaking of in 50 years. Some people will have actual relationships, emotional attachments, maybe girlfriend, boyfriends, like this is all gonna mix with our nervous system, and I think it's gonna be quite painful. That adoption phase to, you know, make sense of it all. With who am I having a relationship? Basically, I'm having a relationship with the collective of all of us, because AI is just a collective of all of us, and this is something that we didn't have before.
Like movie Her puts it very nicely, isn't it? It's the same concept. You probably saw the movie Her.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
With whom are you speaking? With all of the humanity and with thousands of people at one time.
Yeah, and I think it's a beautiful idea in a way, but it's making us uneasy. Right?
That's the reason why you said we are gonna go maybe us or some people are gonna go crazy, or we are gonna have a hard time integrating that into.
Yeah, but on the long run, I can easily imagine that we were just a stepping stone to something different. Like Neanderthal were a stepping stone, and they don't exist anymore. But they allowed, with merging and mixing, allow us to evolve with the brains that we have, and we started to create new tools and be much more advanced in manipulating the world. And maybe this is just something that came out of us, and it's gonna live forward without us. I can easily imagine something like that.
Yeah.
Or we will merge.
Yeah. So the question was, I'm also stating it as I always do, these questions to myself. But for you is the same question. What will your job look like, or your creative, or your doing look like in the future? And let's forget about 50 years. The future, whatever future. Okay.
2 years.
Yeah. That's the question which we pose in my sphere of work with my colleagues as well, because it's maybe I will go concrete and I will say what I feel is gonna happen for me and how I would actually like that it goes. You know, I was talking before we started drawing. Let's speak about architectural work, how we produce and create. We drew in the 90s. Now we use computer. So in the future, I would actually like that this gets diminished, that I don't use computers so much. So the computer work gets done by itself with AI or with technology. And now the question is, what do I do then with the spare time that I have, you know? And I use it for creative stuff that I like. This is what I'm actually excited for the future. And I see it now already changing in those 5 years, let's say, rapidly. And I would like to go there, actually, you know, that I don't spend so much time, you know, like this. This is now the documentary that I'm doing. Post-production, as you know, how much does it take, you know?
I don't.
Yeah, you don't know, but maybe you have a sense of it, you know. Yeah, all of these works that maybe you wouldn't like to do, you know,
goes away.
They go away, and what stays is the free time, spare time to do what?
I think every time in history when additional resource was unlocked for us, we found a different level of abstraction and different level of creative process on top of it. For example, like if you are an entrepreneur and you want to make something, you can make it by your hand and sell it. So you're a craftsman and an entrepreneur and marketer and everything. Like, and then you get a resource of additional labor, like, and a machine, like a steam machine or a petrochemical resource of energy. And if you're an entrepreneur, you basically automate the process below, and then you go onto another level of creative process, of abstraction, and you are an owner of a factory, and you need to make business deals, and you need to envision the future, and you need to, like, okay, I envision the whole country with railroads, what I need to do to have that. Of course, I will not be the one who will do it, because this is not going to be done. The country will not have railroads. So I think this is going to be unlocked for everybody. So the manual labor or tedious labor is going to go away, and you will be able to be an entrepreneur with 1,000 of your workers that are basically going to be AI, not humans, and it's going to be much cheaper to create big stuff and to unleash the creativity of humans. And you will basically manage all the resources. If you want to be an artist and still do things by hand, I think this is still going to be possible, as, you know, if you like horseback riding.
You will use a horse and do it.
You will do it for the joy of it, not to get from point A to point B, because you have better ways to do that. And that's the point. That's the optimistic way of looking at progress.
I see the same way. You do it for the joy. I mean, if you're a sensible person, you arrange your life according to this notion, isn't it?
Yes.
That you do things with joy, not because you must. This was maybe in the past much more prevalent or hard to puncture through, but nowadays it's much more. And in the future, it will probably, as you outlined, everybody will have that on disposal.
And the thing that you are doing right now, you are in a creative process. You are filming interviews and talks, because in the morning you open up the refrigerator and the food was there, and you got the calories and energy and coffee. And you could do it, but if you didn't have the resources, you couldn't do it. So this became unlocked. And this is, you're going to put it on YouTube, which is basically very complex server thing, so other people can... You wouldn't be able to do it by yourself.
For sure.
So all of this times 1,000% is going to be unlocked for us. And we don't imagine what kind of creative processes are going to be possible.
This is the reason why I was not specific, because I don't know. I know probably, I mean, I sense that I will be creative still, and it will be done because of the joy of it. And that's what will happen. I don't know. Actually, I don't care. As I don't know in 1 year I will do what I will do. Maybe I will do something different.
The only pessimistic thing I would say is not everybody will thrive in the world that I described, which is the same as this world. Like, there are a lot of people who, when you put the argument to them, like, look at all the material abundance that we have and possibilities, but it doesn't mean that much to them, because there are different types of people, and some people don't thrive into this way of life, and I need to be sympathetic of that too, and we need to take care of them if they fall through the gaps. Like, I don't have the energy to be creative. I don't have the knowledge. I'm scared of AI.
Klemen, this was my point, actually. You know, when I'm thinking not just of myself, you know, but about the humanity. because I can sense this already now, with, for example, workers, if I put a worker to do some, to maybe tackle a bit of a management, they go crazy,
They don't want the responsibility.
Yeah, they do want it, and they are all of mouth of it, when they are not confronted with it, when they have to execute it. And we kid a lot that a lot of times you just need to maybe try it for a week or two, to be a CEO or a manager, then you quickly realize, and they do realize a lot of times that it's
not for them.
It's a different universe to work in, It's a frameless universe, let's say, if you have a job to do, you build something, you have a frame to do it, and this gives you safety, boundary, also you move within that.
Yes.
But if you manage things, you are a CEO, as you know, you don't have a frame. You have to do it,
and you have to do it. Yeah.
And people don't have a lot of people don't have a capacity to thrive.
We are different. We're different, and we need to make a society that is not ignoring one part of it.
That was my question. What the humanity will look like, not just us or my kind, but we creative people. What others will do. That was also. This is what my question were alluding to from the start. The teachers and so on, because I know. My wife. She doesn't want. She thrives in a frame. She has to have like a company that, as you said, like YouTube. I have to have. I don't want to do a YouTube. So, what kind of frames as a society will we do, or will they form in the future to cover all of these aspects of a human? Not just creative people, but also those that want. They want frames, but the future, as it looks now, we will do frameless. The AI will just, unleash everything.
I think it's quickly becomes a dangerous situation because people that thrive in a society start to think, okay, we need to take care of the other people, and it's like a parent-child relationship.
Of course, then you're
because. If you thrive in this society, you get power. You get power through monetary means. You get power, capital, social capital, etc., reputation. So all this energy, with all this energy, you can still steer the world and basically put down other people, right? Intellectually or in any other way. So I like to flip this in a different way. I would say, like, let's create so much material abundance that nobody dies from food shortages, nobody dies from unnecessary preventable health reasons. Everybody has a world-class personal one-on-one tutoring for education. So education, health, food, shelter. We need to make a base. So let's
like a Maslow's pyramid, the base. You need to cover the base. And then
everything else, I would just put the responsibility to individual. Because if I go above him and I say I need to take care of your psychological state and purpose and meaning and give you something, I'm basically talking to him like to a child. And I say, the society gives you things to survive. You make yourself happy. You find your purpose, meaning. I will do the same. Let's do it together. I'm more. It can be cruel, but in a way, I think responsibility of the individual is very important.
As it is cruel from a child's perspective when you tell him, but here we are diving into the politics, ethics, and these kind of other aspects of humanity, which inevitably will come with that.
Because elites are always talking about, we need to do this and that for other people because they don't.
And this is already, patronizing.
It's patronizing. It's patronizing.
These are actually the questions and the topics that I also like to discuss with friends as well as you do, isn't it? Dear listener, Tadej and Klemen are now sitting in silence for 1 minute. You can enjoy the silence as well, or simply skip into the future. Maybe in the future. Now we spent like a few moments in silence. I'm let's see how this formulates. Maybe in the future these moments will not maybe be needed, but I think we will cherish a lot of these moments, that we just now spend in, that the silence takes over. It will be like I sense it will be like an antidote to all of the stuff you can do, all the potential you have, not to implode or explode, I don't know, this was just from the top of my head.
I think this is part of the individual responsibility to find places or areas or methods or that brings him back to a peaceful state, to elevate maybe antidote to the chaos of modern life. But I think this is like an individual responsibility completely, because if it's not individual, if it's in terms of religion or organized things, there are huge problems with that.
And we tackled a bit of politics. This is related to politics. If you take a higher ground, and you easily can when you are in that sphere when primary needs are, you don't think about those things if you're hungry, But if you're fat and you're, you have a potential to do it, you get carried away, or one gets carried away quite easily, isn't it? And I'm trying to see how the world will look like in that, in that manner. Because from there, for sure, we will then get an ideas and build accordingly. Either physical environment or educational curriculums and so on. And I hope it will go that way. That we will have wisdom, let's say, that we conduct the society in that manner. And I'm specifically saying we, because as you outlined, it's a personal thing. We will do it, You don't want probably that somebody else does it for you as they do now,
I think a peaceful human being is almost automatically moral, because he sees more layers of reality, and he sees other people, not just himself. chaotic psyche, chaotic psyche or unpeaceful mind is in the illusion that he needs to take care of himself, and he needs some stuff that he probably doesn't need, and he takes the stuff from others, So if we are talking about ethics and morality, I think inner peace is a starting point for sure, I would say. I think we need better support in society for psychological needs and psychological suffering of others. I can see it in myself. If I'm not loving to myself and I'm not enough, I need to do something more in society, get more money, get more reputation, because I'm
you're
not
lacking.
enough.
Yeah, you're lacking.
If you're lacking, that's a psychological need that wasn't filled in some other healthy way. So I turn to unhealthy ways of feeling that. So if we can set up a structure somehow, which is secular, that is not going into a specific religion or ideas, so it's neutral. I think we'll have more peaceful members, and because they're peaceful, they will be more moral, and we will be in synergy to create the world that we are talking about in a better way. So I think it starts with peace, and it starts with childhood probably, and how peaceful are the adults around that child, because they are sensing the nervous system quite well.
Yesterday we had an introduction into the primary school. So my kid went there, and we had a lecture. We as a school, all of us are parents, and they were doing their stuff, the youngsters, okay, and we had a lecture. It was one famous Slovenian psychologist, and he started with a lecture which he presents to companies, and he said, I don't care, maybe you heard that already, and I don't know how much how many times do I have to tell this, but it doesn't matter for the company or for the parents or for the child. It's the same thing. So I will go through it again. He joked from the start. And what his method or what he presents is, he did it very basically. He draws a line, and it's a thick line. And he says, all of our problems are within that line. And what we do is we take normally two roads, okay, or two steps. Either we go below the line or above the line. And then he started to explain what is below the line. Normally, he said, like 99%, what first initial reactions people have is that they don't take a responsibility, so they avoid it. Deflection, he said, deflection. And then who is to blame? It's below that, and then they start to point, and then what is below that is a surrender. Oh, everything is useless, the system is corrupt, I cannot do anything about it. And these, let's say, modes are below the line, and he was joking all of the time, and he said, yeah, maybe you were driving here and you were late, isn't it? What was your first response? You started to apologize, isn't it? All of those things. Oh, my boss is like this. Oh, I cannot do it about it. And he said, how do you think child and our upbringing can be different if we don't conduct ourselves in the proper manner already? And then he said, above the line is responsibility. taking responsibility, ability to respond. And he then explained through all of how we look at the politics, what we usually do when we talk about politics, what we criticize, isn't it? Which is already not taking responsibility, it's just, regurgitating our problems from the line. So the responsibility was the main point to break this cycle. It was a kind of a funny lecture because it was true. It was a famous comedian, also within the parents group. And I was like, it was so funny to me because he was actually funny all the way. And I said, what must he be thinking? The comedian. This is like a comedy show, like George Carlin. Tackled all. Yeah. It's if you just. It was
like a show. Yeah.
It was like a show because he was. It was true. Giving you the mirror. Oh, you apologize. You this is what you do. And how can you then expect that our children are any different? And this was kind of like a cold shower for all of the, I sense.
Responsibility is probably one of the most important things, and I was often in the illusion that because my longing for freedom, whatever that means, would be to have as least responsibility as possible, because you are then free.
Yeah.
You can go here, you can do that, you can do that, and so no responsibility. And I felt the least free on those occasions. And taking responsibility for yourself is very important. And then if you have the strength and might, you will naturally want to take responsibility for other external stuff to help some people in a certain time period to carry the burden instead, and that what gives you meaning, and that what gives you the feeling of freedom to have the meaning. Without meaning, you're completely enslaved by your psyche. Because you are living, but you don't see the point of living, and that's a prisoner's situation. You don't want to be inside the cage. You want to be outside of the cage.
What do you then do? Actually, you just want to die.
You don't see the purpose of anything, and freedom comes from taking responsibility. I strongly. I tested it so many times on both ends
that what
I know that is the truth.
So what do you do now? You take as much as responsibility.
No, as much as I can.
Yes, as you should, as you can.
So the problem comes, how much can you take? So then becomes the like very fine-grained dividing of, this is my responsibility and this is not my responsibility, and I'm at peace with that. Because there are two types of people I see. One, they put everything on themselves, all the blame, all the burdens, and that's not a healthy psyche. And then you have a other side of the coin. I'm not responsible for anything. I'm the victim of society, of my parents, of my wife, of my children, of my and that's also not a healthy psyche. So somewhere in the middle is the right way.
Here we step probably into the psychology, spirituality, how people find purpose.
Yeah, I think it's the individual process, and that's basically taking responsibility. Because if it's not individual,
then it's already.
Then my priest has some responsibility for my spiritual life.
And it's easier, isn't it? To some degree, isn't it?
On the short run, it's easier. On the long run, it's hell.
And he said, examples always work. And he said, with an example, you parked here, isn't it, today? what did you do? Did you park on the parking spot? Did you try to avoid? You see how you are, your mind is cunning. You already tried to, you're below the line.
Yeah.
Your mode of being is below the line then. Yeah. We even don't notice the responsibility we avoid normally because it's unconscious. And I just remembered one instance in the past. It was probably 15 years ago. In the countryside, we have this habit to burn the corn. Not to burn it. To what is the term? To patch the kuruzo.
Okay. Bake
the corn. And how you get them, it was quite of a feat. If you don't have a field yourself, if you don't produce corn, then you have to get it. Either you ask, or normally what they did is, it was so much of a corn all over the place as it was grapes in that vineyard places. As cherries, you go past and then you just pluck a few. And it was a funny thing because we as youngsters had to collect them, and then the grandmother said, just go and collect them. And I said, where? There, to the neighbors. And I had like revelation, whoa, but this is stealing, isn't it?
Yes.
And I said to my my wife's grandmother, but this is stealing, isn't it? If I just go there. And her response was, but it is just a few. And it stuck into my head for so many years till this day, because we do this concept, either when we park, when we click download, and we steal from the, we do it so in so many cases. It's just a few. It's just for a short period.
Yeah, it's a rationalizing. So and don't feel bad.
Yeah, and for her it was sufficient. She didn't have a problem, but I did, because it was stealing for me from that on, and I couldn't switch it off. Till this day,
But I would say, if it's just a few, which is true, like this is not going to be visible, sensible to the owner in terms of any kind of pain, right? This is probably, the fields are most of the time like so big, a couple of corners. So I think it's even more rational to ask, because in that way you are basically giving a gift to the owner, because he will feel good. He did something for another child which doesn't affect him at all. So basically you bring the gift to the owner by asking, can we take a couple of corns from your field? And he will be like, yes, of course, this is my gift to you, I'm the noble person. And you give the gift to him, you give the gift to yourself, and that's an opportunity. In cases when it's just a few, I would say, those are like huge opportunities to make the world a better place for everybody involved. Just a few. No pain for him, no pain for you. Everybody feels a bit better afterwards, because it's abundant. This goes back to our previous discussion. If we make the world abundant in terms of tutoring resources with AI, so it doesn't cost like anything to change a life to somebody, that's a very positive world. And like the field, he has abundance in terms of corn, because you need just a little bit. So we make an AI tutor, and somebody takes just a little bit, and we don't feel how much did he took. And that's the point with technology.
To that, I can only say, well put.
No.
Well put. No, that is actually quite of a I think wisdom lies within that.
But abundance, abundance always creates morality and ethics, and lack, not abundance, like the other coin, produces unmoral world, because you're lacking,
greedy, and so on.
Something you need to take.
So
people that are talking bad about technology and abundance and material abundance, I think they don't understand that.
That's a great point, because that was the concept. It unraveled not at that point, but through all of these years, just on that example. Because it's just a few coins. But if you're a CEO, then it's just a few millions. Just a few, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the same principle, but it's really nice that you framed it in that way, that it starts there. And from there it follows, isn't it? Then you can give, as you nicely put, the gift. It's a gift to the owner and to yourself as well. And from there, the other corns can sprout, which are positive morality and good relations and honesty and responsibility. Actually, we came back to the what you take, how everything will be in the future with abundance. How maybe there within that lies an answer, how we can conduct ourselves.
Yeah, I would say if the outside world will be abundant, as far as we can see, like every year we are creating more stuff. But the inner abundance is a different game, and you need both, right? Because you can live in an abundant material world and inside you feel empty. Yeah,
to the point earlier. Jim Carrey's, he would like for everybody to be abundant. Then they would sense that it's not enough to have external abundance. What to do with it? Most people actually go crazy. A lot of celebrities, isn't it?
Well, celebrity, I think it's a different thing than monetary wealth, because you get social validation.
Which is the same, isn't it? It's if I give you like millions, or if I give you millions subscribers, I mean, it gives you the same kick for maybe different for different people, but it's the same energy.
Yeah, you were not ready for what you got, because your inner world was not aligned with what outside is showing you. Everybody is like, if you're famous, everybody is like, oh, you're the best, and you don't feel that is true. They don't know the real you. So it's a mismatch. I think that's where the pain comes. If you know, I'm a creative person, I'm a very good musician, I did this all my life and people admire me, you're alive. And when somebody says you are the best musician, you say, okay, thank you so much. And I can feel what you mean. But if this is like too big of a difference, I think that's where the pain comes.
And probably nowadays young people can see this already very early on in their life because of the technology. And then they strive to be that person, but they are not ready. I think, they are not that person, because they don't have a. I remember now we were speaking. I was speaking about workers in the factory, and I just talked with my fellow colleague from a different field, and we had the same like example. How some of the young people that come into the working field are like, arrogant. And where
overly confident.
Overconfident, arrogant. And where the arrogance comes from? Because they think they know already. Not just know, but know how to do things, conduct. I mean, I was too. I was also 20 years ago, I can remember. But it's maybe a different nowadays, because they are like the voltage is is up. You know, they are so like they could be like CEOs already. You know, I wasn't like that. You know, I was confident, but not to that degree that I meet some of the, which is nice because then I just tend to tell them, oh, this is a great potential that you have, but let's see what we can work with, because it is, isn't it?
It is.
The overconfidence, the arrogance is.
I would rather take this than the other side of the coin.
That it's the person that puts himself down.
I think it's more in line with reality. Everybody has potential.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the other one doesn't even see potential in himself. So it's more in the illusion.
Yeah.
So the closer you are to the truth, the better. So I think that's closer to the truth. If you're overly confident that you can do things, you just are. You think you can do them now, which is maybe not true, but we will see. But maybe you are correct. Maybe he's better than you in some sense. We don't know. But the beauty of this kind of world is if he wants to be a CEO, he can be a CEO of his own company and idea and go.
Yeah, you go and do it, and then
show what you believe to be true to other people, so they believe it's true. But you need to show them with action and results.
Where then the work starts, actually. We both know, you also know, maybe you can tell your experience of building the company. How is it?
It's very good.
How is it?
Well, I often have the feeling that everything that I did till this point was preparing me for this point. So that's why I say it's easy. In terms of UX stuff, I did this for 15 years, so now I can just do it. Just manage people and steer the direction. My problems with math and my problems with school, this is also very beneficial. My working all around the world, my podcast and media efforts are also contributing to the start of the project. So it was easier to start. My relationship with Andre, my co-founder, is going back like also 15 years. So I think there are like 10 other things also contributing to, so that now it's easier and more successful, and no doubt that our vision is what we should pursue. There are doubts. Are we going to be successful? Is this approach going to be successful? Of course. But there are no doubts that we are on the right path for us. Maybe not for the society.
I mean, for sure, as a lot of companies, probably yours will also change in the future, because it cannot be like this, that it's written like this. So, but if you feel that you're on the right track, the right course, right course, then it's enough, I think, for the for each moment of the step, isn't it?
You cannot envision a better place to be in than to believe I'm at the right place.
I feel the same. I feel the same as you do. I feel the same with my courses.
Because then there is no struggle. I'm at the wrong place. I need to be in some other place. There's a tension or friction inside you because you're not aligned with reality as it is. And when you feel like I'm completely aligned with the reality as is, I'm at the right place, I have the right amount of money, I have the right amount of and type of people around me. Everything is in line.
Veredu, in order. In order. Slovenian expression, veredu, in order, in harmony.
And I feel this with this project completely. And it's not just the project, it's currently my life. Because
your lifestyle, isn't it? It revolves around it,
almost completely. and I'm very happy that it does.
Yeah. I mean, I share the same aspects just in my field. From that, I a lot of times feel gratitude emerges. You know, it's I'm grateful,
Yeah.
but not as a personal gratitude. You know, personal, but such an ease.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how to describe it. You could say
You don't need to describe.
yeah. You could say peace, or you know, or but it's a gratitude that comes from that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably it has to do with that you are on the right place. That if you feel that you are on the right place, then you don't need to do something. You don't need to push somewhere. And
it wasn't you. It wasn't you that put you there. Because sometimes I'm surrounded by a lot of successful people, and a lot of them have a belief that I did this. All the success that I have, this is on me. I'm responsible for it. I was doing the work. I was making the right decision. I. And I think this is not true. You are in the chaos, in the soup of life, with your genes and your upbringing and your situations. That's completely out of your control.
Yeah.
And that's where the gratitude, the right kind of gratitude comes, because you know something else was taking care of you, and you are grateful to something outside of yourself.
Yeah, I would wish for a lot of young people that they would also feel the same, or go on that path, that they know they are on the right track. Should we end on that note?
Yes.
Gratitude. I think if you feel lost, you are still there on the right track, because maybe you don't see it at that point, but probably
it's a belief.
Yeah, it's a belief. Yeah. But yeah, you are maybe living, and that's enough. You know, just a few weeks ago, we lost one friend. It was our age. She killed herself. Quite actually thoughtfully. You know, this was a kind of a reminder. You know, that we are living, and this is already, you know, enough. You know, that we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's hard to understand, probably. But it is true, because actions always show the truth. And I would never say, oh, that shouldn't happen. They could do it in another way. That would be arrogant.
Yeah, that would be arrogant.
Because the action is the truth. It was unbearable. How do we know it's unbearable? Because of the action.
Because it's obvious.
Yeah, the action shows you it was unbearable.
Yeah.
And for us to say, no, it was bearable, would be like, we would be in an illusion.
Like arrogant, yeah, you put it nicely. Life
but
as
she
it
still took, I think, took responsibility, because to end your life with all this evolutionary baggage that is pushing you not to do it. You know, everything in your body is basically craving for you to survive. This is what your ancestors gave you. And to go over that, you need a lot of strength. And maybe that's the first time in your life that you took and be strong. It sounds weird, because we are talking about ending your life and suicide, but I believe it's her life and her right.
From that, gratitude can actually come already. You don't need to have something that then you will be grateful. Which maybe we could come to a circle with education and so on, you know, because when you're young or also along your life, we try to find purpose and live to some kind of imagination. But especially when you're young, you tend to get lost. And I'm very grateful actually that you do what you do with soft part of education. Hopefully you continue. I mean, hopefully you will. I know you will, because it drives you. But yeah, I'm glad that you came.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It probably made my day fuller. You know, I think it's important to use our brain capacity and speech technology to connect with each other, and with actual technology connect to other people.
Yeah.
So everything is just connecting.
Nice. Thank you, and yeah, thank you for your time.